My entitled sister abandoned her 3 children 8 years ago, and today she walked into my kitchen demanding half of the $15,000 check those same kids had just handed me. She didn't hug them, she didn't ask how they were doing. She went straight for the money. "That's way too much for babysitting," she said, snatching the check off my table like it belonged to her. "They should have given this to me." Babysitting. Not raising them, not stepping in when she disappeared. Babysitting. I stared at her standing there in my kitchen, holding a check meant to thank me for taking care of the children she walked away from, and acting like I'd stolen something from her. "They're my kids," she continued, her voice rising with indignation. "Half of that belongs to me. It's only fair." Fair. Fair to abandon them, fair to come back when money was involved, fair to demand financial appreciation for a job she never did. She didn't say thank you, she didn't say sorry. She just kept gripping that check, insisting it was hers. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying and simple at the same time. She wasn't here to see her children. She was here to collect what she thought was her cut. And when I told her no, she said something that would change everything. She said I was stealing her children's riches. Let me tell you how we got here. 8 years ago, my sister showed up at my door with 3 kids, 2 suitcases, and a story about needing a fresh start. Emma was 10, Marcus was 7, and Lily was only 5. They were exhausted, confused, and hungry. "I just need a few weeks to get back on my feet," she said, already backing toward her car. "Maybe a month, tops." That was the last time I saw her for 3 full years. No calls, no visits, no birthday cards or Christmas presents, just silence, and 3 children asking me when their mom was coming back. When Emma started middle school, I had to sign her enrollment forms myself. When Marcus broke his arm, I was the one sitting in the ER. When Lily woke up crying from nightmares about being left again, I was the one holding her. My parents knew what was happening. They always said the same thing. Family helps family. She's just going through a hard time. After about 3 years, she started drifting back in and out of their lives. A weekend here, a holiday there. Long enough to take pictures, promise she'd stay, then disappear again. Meanwhile, I became their parent in every way that mattered. I went to parent-teacher conferences, paid for school supplies, and showed up for every recital, game, and award ceremony. They started calling me when they were scared, when they were proud, when something went wrong. By the time they were teenagers, they didn't talk about their mother much anymore. They talked about me. One night, Emma asked me if it was okay to write my name on a school form where it said parent. Marcus started saving his good news for me first. Lily used to fall asleep holding my hand, afraid I'd disappear too. Those were the moments I realized they weren't just staying with me, they were attaching to me. My sister had my number. She knew where I lived, she could have been there any time. Instead, she chose beaches, bars, and boyfriends. She showed up when it was convenient, and vanished when it wasn't. And every time she left again, the kids leaned a little harder on me. Fast forward to last month. Emma graduated medical school and landed her residency at a children's hospital. Marcus earned tenure as a high school history teacher. Lily opened her own graphic design firm at just 23. 3 kids who'd once been abandoned had grown into successful, confident adults, not because of their biological mother, but in spite of her. They brought me into every milestone. Emma sent me photos from her white coat ceremony. Marcus invited me to his 10-year dinner. Lily asked me to cut the ribbon at her grand opening. And that's when my sister suddenly reappeared in their lives. She started liking every post, commenting on every photo, sending messages about how proud she was, after years of silence, not when they were scared or struggling, but now, when their success made her look good. The kids noticed. That's when they decided to do something for me. They invited me to Sunday dinner at Emma's place. I thought it was just a family meal until I saw the envelope waiting on the table. "We wanted to thank you," Emma said, her voice shaking. "For choosing us when our mom didn't," Marcus added. Lily was crying. Inside the envelope was a check. $15,000. My hands actually trembled when I held it. I kept thinking about all the nights I'd stayed up helping with homework, all the mornings I'd packed lunches, all the years I'd wondered if any of it would ever be acknowledged. Seeing that number felt less like money and more like being seen. "It's not enough," Emma said, "but it's our way of showing how much we remember. Who raised us? Who our real mom is." I was still staring at the check, the same one my sister would later grab in my kitchen, when the front door opened. My sister walked in. "What's all this?" my sister asked, looking around Emma's dining room like she owned the place. The kids exchanged glances. They hadn't invited her, they hadn't even told her about the dinner. We were just thanking our aunt, Emma said carefully. My sister's eyes locked onto the check in my hands. I watched her face change as she read the amount. Aita, $15,000? Her voice shot up an octave. For what? For raising us, Marcus said quietly. Raising you? She laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. She didn't raise you, she babysat you. I'm your mother. Lily flinched. Emma stepped closer to me, protective. Where were you when Marcus broke his arm? Emma asked. Where were you when I was applying to college? Where were you when Lily had panic attacks about being abandoned? I was getting my life together, my sister snapped, so I could come back and be a better mother. Everything I did was for you kids. The gaslighting was immediate and shameless. Everything she did was for them. 8 years of absence was actually sacrifice. Abandonment was actually love. That money should go to me, she continued, reaching for the check. I'm the one who gave birth to them. I'm the one who suffered through pregnancy and childbirth. Their aunt just had to deal with the easy part. The easy part. 8 years of sleepless nights, homework help, and emotional support was the easy part. She said the money belonged to her. The worst part wasn't my sister's entitlement. It was what happened when my parents found out. Mom called me the next morning. Your sister told me what happened at dinner last night. Did she tell you she demanded half of a gift the kids gave me? She said you're keeping money that should help her get back on her feet, and honestly, maybe sharing it would be the right thing to do. There it was, the same enabling that had allowed my sister to abandon her children in the first place. She's trying to rebuild her relationship with the kids, Mom continued. This money could help her do that, help her feel more stable. Where was this concern for stability when she was leaving her children with me for years? That's different. She was young, she made mistakes, but she's their mother and family needs to support each other. Dad got on the phone. You know how your sister is. She gets defensive when she feels left out. Maybe if you showed her some kindness, gave her half of what the kids gave you, she'd be more likely to step up as a parent. Step up as a parent? They're adults now, Dad. It's too late to step up. It's never too late for family, he said, and those kids love their mother, even if she wasn't perfect. Perfect. 8 years of abandonment was not perfect. Look, Mom said, we're not saying you don't deserve recognition for what you did, but your sister needs help, and this could be a chance for the family to come together. They were asking me to fund my own replacement, to pay my sister to show up and claim credit for children she'd never bothered to raise. They said I should share it with her. When I refused to split the money, my entitled sister took the fight public. She started with a Facebook post that made my blood boil. Some people think doing the bare minimum for family deserves a reward. I guess raising your sister's kids for a few years means you own them now. #family, #betrayal, #greed. Not a word about how she had abandoned her children. The comments started rolling in immediately. Family friends who didn't know the real story, distant relatives who'd heard bits and pieces over the years, people offering sympathy to my struggling sister, and questioning why I was being so selfish with the financial appreciation her own kids had given me. Then came the Instagram stories, photos of her with the kids from years ago, carefully curated shots that made it look like she'd been a present, loving mother. Pictures from the few holidays she'd actually shown up for, with captions like, "Missing my babies" and "A mother's love never fades." The manipulation was masterful. She painted herself as a reformed mother trying to reconnect with her children, and me as the jealous sister who was stealing her children's riches. Some people will do anything for money, she posted the next day, even turn children against their own mother. But blood is thicker than greed, and my kids know who really loves them. The post got dozens of likes and comments supporting her. People calling me names. People saying the children belonged with their real mother. People who had no idea what those children had been through. She even wrote that I had stolen from her children. But my sister made one crucial mistake when she decided to wage this war on social media. She forgot that her children were adults now. Adults with their own social media accounts. Adults who could see exactly what she was posting about the woman who'd actually raised them. Emma texted me first. Did you see what Mom posted? This is insane. Then Marcus. She's telling people you're keeping us from her? After she abandoned us? Lily called me crying. She's making it sound like you kidnapped us or something. Everyone at work is asking me about it. The kids were furious. Not at me, at her. They'd watched me sacrifice 8 years of my life for them, and now they were watching their biological mother try to tear me down for profit. She's posting pictures from my 10th birthday, Emma said during our three-way call, the one where she showed up 2 hours late and left before cake. She's acting like she was Mother of the Year. Marcus was angrier than I'd ever heard him. She's using photos from the 3 days a year she bothered to see us. What about the other 362 days? What about the school plays she missed? What about the nights we cried ourselves to sleep wondering what we did wrong? Lily's voice was shaking with rage. She's telling people you're greedy. You, who spent your life savings on us. You, who never asked us for anything. She's calling you greedy? They'd seen their mother's manipulation before, but never aimed at me. Never this public, never this cruel. We need to tell people what really happened, Emma said. The real story, Marcus agreed. All of it, Lily added. For the first time, it wouldn't be her version versus mine. It would be her version versus her own children. The oldest asked me to tell the real story. That night, I sat at my computer and started gathering evidence. If my entitled sister wanted to make this about documentation, I was ready. I began with the school records because those were the simplest and the most brutal. 8 years of parent-teacher conference sign-in sheets, and not one had her name on it. 8 years of emergency contact forms listing only me. 8 years of permission slips for field trips, science fairs, sports tournaments, and medical visits, all signed by me. When Marcus had his appendix removed at 12, I was the one who signed the hospital consent forms. When Emma applied for early college admission, I was the one who filled out the parental section. When Lily was sent home with a fever or a panic attack, the school didn't even try to reach her mother. They called me. Every teacher knew my voice. Every administrator had my number. Every coach had my email. My sister had abandoned her children so completely that the system had quietly replaced her with me. I even found the custody paperwork my lawyer had prepared back when she first disappeared. I'd been advised to file for legal guardianship, but my parents had begged me not to. She'll come back, they said. Don't make it worse than it needs to be. So instead of protecting myself legally, I protected the kids in every other way. But the real proof was on my sister's own social media. I started scrolling back through her Facebook and Instagram. It was like flipping through an alternate reality. March 2016. Emma was in the hospital with pneumonia. I had a photo of her hooked up to an IV. My sister on the same day posted beach pictures from Cancun with a new boyfriend. December 2017. Marcus was playing in his championship soccer game. I was freezing on the sidelines. My sister was posting videos from a music festival in Austin, dancing under neon lights. June 2019. Lily was walking across the stage at her middle school graduation. My sister was at a lake house, captioning selfies with, "Living my best life." And the worst one, Emma's high school graduation. While I was in the bleachers crying and taking pictures as she received her diploma with honors, my sister was in Las Vegas, posting shots of cocktails and casino floors. The timestamps lined up perfectly. Her children were growing up without her. She was living like she didn't have any. The captions were the cruelest part. No responsibilities, no regrets. Finally free to be me. Life is about choosing yourself. She was choosing herself while I was choosing her kids. Then I turned to my financial records. I opened my banking app and started pulling statements from 8 years back. One by one, I added it all up. School supplies and uniforms, doctor visits and dental bills, groceries for 3 growing kids, extracurricular fees, tutors, therapy, car insurance, driving lessons. Emma's college tuition assistance when scholarships didn't cover everything, $15,000 a year for 4 years. Marcus's used car so he could get to his job, $8,000. Lily's therapy when the abandonment trauma became unbearable, $200 a week for 2 years. Every check, every transfer, every emergency. The number kept climbing. By the time I finished, it was over $200,000. $200,000 to raise 3 kids who weren't legally mine, but were mine in every way that mattered. And now my sister was screaming online that I was greedy for keeping $15,000, the financial appreciation her children had chosen to give me. She said I was stealing her children's riches. I stared at the spreadsheet for a long time. She hadn't just walked away from her kids. She'd walked away from the cost of raising them and let me pay it. I wasn't stealing anything. I was just finally showing what she owed. The next morning, I called all 3 kids for a group video chat. I've been gathering evidence all night, I told them. School records, financial spreadsheets, her own social media posts. Everything that shows how your entitled sister of a mother really behaved after she abandoned her children. Emma didn't hesitate. Good, because what she's posting makes it sound like you kidnapped us for money. Marcus leaned closer to his camera. She's telling people you're greedy for keeping the financial appreciation we gave you, like you're stealing her riches. Lily wiped her eyes. She posted a photo from my 8th birthday and wrote missing my baby girl. She wasn't missing me, she was in Florida with some guy she barely knew. I shared my screen and showed them the receipts, the school forms with my signature, the hospital documents, the spreadsheet showing more than $200,000, the Vegas and Cancun timestamps lined up against their milestones. Emma stared at it for a long time. I knew she left us, I didn't know she was celebrating it. She made money from not having us, Marcus said. She got freedom while you paid. Lily's voice cracked. I spent years thinking she left because of me. That was never true, I told her. She left because she didn't want the responsibility. I want to respond publicly, I said, but I need you to understand what it will cost. Once we do this, there's no taking it back. She will attack us. Grandma and Grandpa may side with her. You could lose half the family. The fear hung between us. Emma broke it first. I already lost my mom 8 years ago. Marcus nodded. I'm not losing the woman who actually raised me. Lily hesitated. What if she never speaks to us again? That's a real possibility, I said. Lily took a breath. Then she made that choice when she abandoned us. We started planning. Facebook would be the battlefield. That's where her lies were spreading. That's where the truth had to live. We created folders, school records, medical forms, financial receipts, and screenshots of her posts lined up against their milestones. Emma wrote about emergency rooms and her white coat ceremony. Marcus wrote about soccer games and school plays with empty seats. Lily wrote about therapy and learning she wasn't unwanted. Before we ended the call, none of us spoke for a moment. I looked at the 3 faces on my screen and felt something heavy settle in my chest. Once we did this, there would be no soft landing, no pretending everything was fine at Christmas, no polite phone calls, no going back to the version of our family that let everyone ignore what had really happened. After this, I said quietly, your grandparents may hate me, your mom may never speak to you again, people will pick sides. Emma didn't flinch. They already did, they just picked the wrong one. Marcus nodded. This is the last time she gets to rewrite our story. Lily took a breath. Then let's tell it. The truth was ready. That afternoon, I posted the truth. I uploaded everything, the school documents showing 8 years of my signatures on every form that mattered, the hospital records with my name as emergency contact for 3 children who weren't legally mine, the financial spreadsheet totaling over $200,000 in expenses I'd covered, and the screenshots, dozens of them, showing my sister partying in Cancun while Emma was in the hospital, dancing at music festivals while Marcus played championship soccer, celebrating her freedom while her children cried themselves to sleep, wondering what they'd done wrong. Since my sister has decided to make our family business public, I wrote, here are the facts. She abandoned 3 children for 8 years. I raised them. She lived her best life while I funded theirs. Now she wants half of the financial appreciation they gave me to say thank you. These documents show who really deserves that gratitude. I attached the albums I'd prepared, school records, 8 years of my signatures, medical records, emergency contact, reality financial sacrifice, $200, 000 plus her timeline, where she actually was. Then I hit post. The reaction was immediate. Within minutes, the shares were climbing. Within an hour, it had been reposted over 100 times. Oh my God, she was partying while her daughter was in surgery? Look at these timestamps. Vegas during graduation day. $200,000 and she still wants more? This is pure evil. The same people who had called me greedy on my sister's posts started deleting their comments. Family friends quietly unliked her photos. Relatives who had believed her story began asking uncomfortable questions. My sister tried damage control. She posted frantic replies about context, about being misunderstood, about malicious editing. But every reply just drove more people back to the receipts. You can't fake hospital records. You can't Photoshop 8 years of school forms. You can't explain away timestamps. By that evening, it had spread beyond our family. Parenting pages shared it. Twitter threads broke it down line by line. People weren't just reading, they were judging. But the real destruction came when her own children spoke. Emma posted first. This woman is telling people my aunt kidnapped me for money. Here's the truth. My aunt held my hand during emergency surgery when I was 12. My biological mother was getting drunk on a beach in Mexico that same week. My aunt drove 6 hours to every college interview. My mother posted party photos. My aunt deserves every cent we gave her. My mother deserves nothing from the children she abandoned. Marcus followed. Nobody turned us against her. You don't have to turn someone against a person who was never there. 8 years of soccer games with empty seats. 8 years of school plays where I kept looking for a mother who chose not to come. My aunt showed up to everything. My biological mother showed up to nothing. Lily's post broke people. She keeps posting baby pictures like she raised me. Those same years, I was in therapy twice a week, learning that I wasn't the reason she disappeared. My aunt spent over $14,000 helping me heal from abandonment trauma my mother caused. Now my mother wants to profit from the woman who saved my mental health. That's not just greed, that's cruelty. Teachers, coaches, neighbors, and therapists began commenting. Emma's guidance counselor wrote, "I saw every parent-teacher conference. Sarah was there for all of them. The biological mother never was." Marcus's coach added, "Sarah never missed a game. I forgot he even had a biological mother until she showed up drunk to senior night." Lily's therapist posted, "Sarah was the healing parent. The biological mother was the trauma source." My entitled sister wasn't losing a narrative. She was losing the truth. She tried one last time, posting a crying video about being misunderstood, about how everything was out of context, about how I was destroying a mother trying to rebuild. The comments were ruthless. Your kid's trauma isn't out of context. $200,000 isn't out of context. 8 years of abandoning them isn't out of context. She had spent years stealing their childhoods, and now she was trying to accuse me of stealing her riches. Even my parents called that night. "We didn't know," Dad said quietly. Mom was crying. "We should have protected the kids. We should have protected you." There was no version of this family left to go back to. The lies were gone. The truth was permanent. My entitled sister disappeared from social media for 3 months after everything came out. When she finally returned, it was behind a private account with no photos of children, no talk of motherhood, and no mention of the financial appreciation she'd tried to take from the people who had actually raised her kids. The woman who once flooded the internet with posts about her babies and her mother's love had quietly erased us from her online existence. She never apologized, not to me, not to Emma, not to Marcus or Lily. She did what she always did when the truth got too heavy. She vanished. The family who had defended her went quiet too. Some of them reached out later, awkward and ashamed. Some never did. But the silence was loud enough to say everything. Last Sunday, the kids came over for dinner. Emma brought dessert from the bakery near the hospital. Marcus grilled burgers in my backyard. Lily showed me the logo she'd designed for a new client. It was warm and ordinary and peaceful, the kind of evening we'd built for ourselves over 8 years while their biological mother was somewhere else living her best life. We didn't talk about her. We talked about work, about travel, about the vacation we're taking together next month. One we planned because we wanted to, not because anyone owed anyone anything. As they were leaving, Emma hugged me and said, "Thank you, not for the money, not even for the years. Thank you for letting us choose you publicly." Marcus held on longer. We always knew who our real mom was. We just needed the world to know too. Lily was the last one out the door. She looked back at me and said quietly, "She abandoned her children." But we didn't end up without a mother. I stood in my kitchen after they left, looking at the empty plates and the half-finished dessert, and felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Peace. For 8 years, I raised children who weren't legally mine, but were mine in every way that mattered. My sister spent those years accusing me of stealing her riches, when all I was really doing was giving her children a home. Now everyone knows the truth. Love isn't biology, it's showing up. And I never stopped showing up.